Hey guys, today we're going to be making my Maki bracelet. I'm a little bit obsessed with it. It is a lot of fun to make. It's easy to make, but you do have to watch the ending. It's not going to look like this when you first take it off of the loom. We have to fix each little section, and we also have to make sure that the cap bands are in the middle of each section. They're supposed to be in, because when we remove it from the loom, they do want to slide around. So please make sure you do watch the end of how I take it off and fix it so that your bracelet is successful like mine. This is actually a variation of this design here, which I haven't named yet. It's been sitting around a while, and I will do a tutorial for that in the future, but I just want to show you that this is actually a variation of that. So if you have 2 looms, I do recommend it because 2 looms gets a nice full-length bracelet. If you're going to do one like me today, you will need 81 bands plus extension bands, and that does include 33 of the clear border, 12 of the black, and 36 of all of the centers. So to get started, you're going to need at least 1 loom in a staggered setup. If you are using 2 looms, just connect it one in front of the other. I'm going to just stick with the 1 loom, and we're going to start by grabbing the border. It's the clear on the sides and also the clear cap band. I'm going to use this green glitter, and we're going to start by laying a loose one in the center for closing it later, and then we're going to go diagonal to the left and the right. We're now going to lay one at a time, 2 of them going straight, and then you're going to do the same on the opposite side. After you lay them, push the last ones down a good bit, because now we need to put a cap band on one of the pegs. You can do it on the left or the right. I like the left. It's more comfortable for me, but you just want to make sure you're wrapping the cap band around 2 times. And now you're going to need to grab your hook, get a hold of the entire cap band, pull it over to the opposite side, and connect it like that. Push that cap band down, and we're going to repeat. We're going to lay 2 of them going straight. Repeat on the opposite side. Push down the last ones that you laid, and apply a cap band wrapped around 2 times. Grab your hook and stretch it over. That's what we're going to alternate. So once again, I'm going to lay 2 going straight. Push it down and add your cap band. Stretch it across with your hook. So you're going to lay 11 of these straight ones if you're using 1 loom like me, and then you'll bring it into the center. If you're using 2 looms, you're going to lay 23 straight ones, and then you'll bring it in. I'll show you exactly what mine looks like when I get down there. So I wanted to hop back on. I'm at the end of my loom, and I'm about to lay my 11th straight band. So I'm going to do that on camera. So that was my 11th one, and now we just immediately bring it in to close it off. So yours will look like the same way, whether you're using 1 loom or 2. It should just be 1 straight one and then bringing it in. So make sure you do go through and push all of them down so we can choose our next layer. So the bands that we're going to be laying next are going to be the black on this one, and they are actually laid as cap bands. There's actually 1 on each side. I use all 1 color for this part, and I'm sticking with black. So we need to wrap a cap band around this corner pin, and the same on the opposite side. We do a lot of cap bands for this design. So it's wrapped around twice. We're going to skip the next one, come up to the 3rd, and we're going to do the same thing. Every other row will get a cap band on each bar pin. I'll skip the next one, come up to the next, and wrap it around twice. We'll do this all the way down the loom, and then when we're done, we're going to come back with our hook, and we're going to actually stretch it down. Alright, so once all of your cap bands are on, we are going to turn our loom around temporarily so that the openings are facing ourselves. You're going to grab your hook. Doesn't really matter where you start, but just so we can stay on the same page, let's come to the top of the loom. We're going to grab the cap band, and you're just going to pull it down to the pin underneath of it. Do that to both sides. So, in other words, the band should be wrapping around 2 of the pegs. Come down to the next one, grab the whole cap band, and pull it down. So we need to do that to all of them. So go ahead and get them all stretched down, and I'll meet you back here. So once they're all stretched out, this is what it looks like. So we can go ahead and turn our loom back around so the openings or the arrows are facing back away from us. We're going to choose our next set of bands. So I'm going to be using white. It's going to be the ones that sit here. So it's not the cat band specifically in the center yet, just these ones. I'm using white. We're going to be laying upside down V's. So we're going to lay going diagonal from the left and the right. And we'll do that again, diagonal from the left and the right. And each section takes 2 sets like that. So if you did want to use other colors, like say this one, you're going to switch the color now. So each one of these basically will get its own color for that type of color pattern, but I'm going to stick with all white. I'm just going to lay these upside down V's all the way up the loom. We will also lay it on the very last one where the border is, and I'll show you that when I get there. Alrighty, so I did jump ahead, and I just want to show you the last set of bands should be laid right on top of those border bands at the end. So don't forget those. Push them down, because now we have to add triple cat bands to the center of all of these. So the cat band that we're laying now are these ones here in the center specifically. And this is the colors that I'm going to use, but you can certainly choose the ones that you want to use. But just make sure that the cat band is wrapped around 3 times. I use a combination of my fingers and the hook to get it wrapped around 3 times. Like so. And like I said when we were laying the bands, 2 sections make up one like little cluster in the bracelet. So if you do want them to match, do it in groups of 2. So I did my 2 off colors, and now I'm going to do 2 white, and I'm going to alternate. So I'm going to hop off camera and get my triple cat bands done, and then I'll meet you guys back here. Alrighty, so I did jump ahead. Once you're done adding your cat bands, turn the loom around. If you counted the bands out ahead of time, we do have 1 border left over, so just keep it close by. We don't need it quite yet, but we will soon. So we're going to start looping, and we're going to be looping out of the centers of all of the cat bands that we just laid. So I'm going to start on the first one. Just go in, grab that diagonal band, loop it out to itself, and repeat. Come up to the next cat band, do the same thing. We're just looping each one of these out from the center. It's very easy. If you happen to skip over the intro, it is very, very important that you watch how I remove this from the loom. If you do not stick around to see that, or stick around to see how I fix it, you're probably going to end up with a mess and wonder why your bracelet doesn't look like mine. So please make sure you check that out. I like to make sure that everyone's bracelets are successful. Usually I skip designs if there's too much fixing involved. I'll pass on it and won't do a tutorial, but I really like this one, so I thought it was worth it. But for now, we're just going to keep getting all of these V's looped out, and then I'll show you what we're going to do next. So once they're all looped out, this is what it looks like. We are going to start flipping over these cat bands now, the black ones, and they are going to be flipped on 2 pegs. So we're going to just stick at the top and then work our way down. It is important that you flip it over the top part before the bottom, because it usually like pulls this band off of the peg. So for example, we're going to start on this top one. Grab the top part of that black cat band, lift it over that peg, and I don't even let it go. I just pull my hook down like this, and it pretty much pulls it over for you. And then you release it. We can go ahead and do the right one since we're up here. Just make sure you don't also accidentally grab the border. So I'm going to grab the cat band, bring it over the top first, then swing it down and bring it over the bottom. We need to release all of the cat bands into the center just like that. I swing it over the top and then bring it down over the bottom. If you can't do it in one motion, you can just flip it over and let it go. Come back, grab the bottom part of it and flip that over. So we're going to keep doing this. I don't pay a whole lot of attention to the bands being twisted until I'm all done. Then I do go in and try to get them to lay nice and flat and straight. But for now, I'm just going to get them all flipped. I ended up just doing all the left first, so now I need to come back and flip the right. So go ahead and get these all flipped over, and then I'll show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so I'm coming back to the beginning. I have all mine flipped, and I did try to fix them, like rolling them to untwist them. You don't have to, but I like to do that. So make sure you do push them down some, and then we're going to come back to the beginning. On this very first center pin, we're going to remove the top layer. So my white right here, just take it off of the pin and let it go. So now is where you're going to need to grab your border color, and we're going to place a cap band right on top right here, like so. And now we're going to start looping the border up. So we're going to go into the cap band and loop our border bands diagonally out to the left and the right. And now we're going to be alternating going up each side. So we're going to loop this border up once on this side. So reach in and grab the bottom band, loop it up. Repeat on the left side, grabbing the bottom band. And now we need to flip over that cap band right here. So it doesn't matter which side you grab first. I just reach right here and grab it. And you want to bring it over the pin and let it go. And then do the same on the left side. Bring it over the pin and let it go. Now we're going to continue working up the border again. So we're going to go in here, grab the bottom band, loop it up. And this time we have to go in there again and do that again, because now there's 2 straight bands. So go in there, loop the border up. Come on the left and we're going to loop the border up twice. And this is where that cap band, horizontal band, should be right here. So I'm going to grab it closer to the right peg, bring it over, and once it clears the pin, I'll let it go. Come on the left side and do the same. See how my band just went up onto the pin? I want to make sure that it stays behind it. So push it behind it and push it down so that it doesn't come over here. Because it's not locked in, it can slide anywhere, and we don't want that. So I'm going to put it down, and once again, we're going to loop the border up 2 times. So grab the bottom band, loop it up twice. Loop it up twice on the left. And flip your cap band over carefully. Keep alternating, looping the border twice and flipping that cap band. And then I will meet you guys here when I get to the top to show you how to remove it from the loom. So I'm sure everyone knows this, but when you get to the very top corners, you just loop those bands into the center. And we're going to reach in and grab that loose band, go into the center, grab the bottom, bring both ends together, and we're going to C-clip it. If you need to know how to do an extension, I'm going to put a little link in the eye above, and you can watch that to make an extension. So my very top one popped off, so I'm just going to carefully let that go. So you may not think it matters, but the way I'm going to show you how to remove it is the best way that I could figure out without really messing up where the cap bands are supposed to go. So we're going to come down to the 3rd row, or wherever your first cap band that was horizontal right there is, and we're going to release those from the pins first. If you don't do it the way I'm showing you, they're probably going to get all out of order, and it's going to be a lot more fixing. So now we're going to release every other row. So we did that one. Don't do this one. Come up to the next one and release. Again, it should be right next to where those horizontal cap bands are. So we're going to release each one of those. And now we want to pull that cap band up some. See how it's pushing against this pin right here? If you go and just release the bracelet right here, that cap band's going to fly right off. So pull it up where it's sitting like in the middle. And we want to do that on each one. Just pull it up some. See how it's kind of sitting in the middle? That's all we want. Okay, now that we did that, we can start releasing the rest of all of the side ones except the very last one at the bottom. Do not release that one until I tell you what to do. Okay, so now that we're down here at the bottom, we're going to release this cap band, but hold it. Hold that cap band upwards, don't let it go. And as you're releasing it, kind of pull upwards so that cap band doesn't pop off. Release this middle one, and release this middle one. Once you do that, you can keep going up the middle, releasing it with your hook, Or now you're safe to come up to the top and pull it off like this. Alrighty, so I have it off. As you can see, it's actually not too bad. I've had them come out way worse. So the first thing I'm going to do is stretch it and make sure in between each one of my little sections that I have a cat band. If your cat band popped off the end when you were taking it off, if you didn't follow my instructions, then it's super easy to fix it. This cat band is not attached to the bracelet at all. I could take it off right now and I can put it back on. So if it does come off, wrap it 2 times and you just plop it right over, put it in the middle, and voila. It's very easy to add it on if it did come off. If it is not in the right spot, you can just pull the cat band over the little bump and get it where it needs to go. So now let's fix the actual centers of these, because that is a part that makes it look nice and neat. If it's too tucked down into the bracelet, put your hook through the little piece like this, and you can pull up on it like that. This is when I center my little cat bands to make sure they're centered, and then pull it out. I do that to each one. I go down, I put it right under it in the middle, and I try to center my cat bands. This one actually came out pretty good, of course, but none of the other ones did. A lot of times the cat band is facing up like that, and it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be like a circle, flat. So you can easily manipulate those cat bands if they're not facing like this. That's not the right direction. So I need to pull it up from the back. So you could just use your hook. Let me show you this direction. Get it under there and pull it some to get it laying the right way. And then lastly, I go through and I squeeze the little piece like this, just to help everything get nice and centered. And then last but not least, I give it one more little pull. So I need to add an extension, which I would do off of screen, but I'm going to put that to the side right now. I actually really like how that color combo came out. But that is how you create my Maki bracelet. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please email me or tag me so I can see your renditions. I love to see them. But that will be it for today, you guys. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.